So, you know, when you guys are scrolling on TikTok or like Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or Etsy, just to pass time or to avoid something you know you should be doing, and you're just running into your usual short form content. You know, people pretending their lives are perfectly aesthetic so you feel like shit. POVs by people that are definitely getting made fun of in the comments. Story times with multiple parts that defeats the purpose of short form content, so you don't even make it past the first 20 seconds. And then you hit what I like to call short form content rock bottom. Content that has the personality of the gross residue that sits at the very bottom of your trash can, which you're too lazy to clean because it disappears from view every time you put a new trash bag in. Content that tries to get into a 21 plus club by stacking two kids on top of each other and throwing a trench coat over them. The type of content made by organizations or corporations that are just so obviously an attempt to blend in with Gen Z, but are just a guise to push a product or even worse, propaganda. Oh, but it couldn't be that bad, said the naive viewer at the other end of the screen. Well, let me show you. Yeah, that's an edit posted on the official Border Patrol Instagram page. And I'm going to commit tax fraud because no way is that where my tax dollars are going. They literally took the time to edit out the word border and put Bugatti. Do you know how much effort that takes? The answer is too much. Can we just play the intro? This is already pissing me off. If the IRS is watching, that was a joke. This is a comedy channel. Emphasis on the comedy part. I actually filed my taxes for the first time this year. So if there's a mistake, it's because I'm new at this, not for the other reason. Anyway, let's start the video before I dig myself into more of a hole. So unlike other Instagram accounts associated with government organizations like the EPA or FEMA that post relatively professional content, the Border Patrol Instagram is reminiscent of a basketball highlights page with highlights of a previous incident. Looks like this smuggler took the phrase off-road a little too seriously. Don't smuggle, don't end up underwater, or epic edits or posts glorifying all of their statistics with this week in review thing. But okay, we'll come back to this. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I just kind of wanted to give a synopsis. We'll dive into their account in a sec. But first, I kind of want to discuss the Border Patrol, who they are and why I dislike them. In case you're unaware, or maybe you hold a different stance and I could change your mind. Either way, I'm going to talk and there's nothing you can do about it. Looking at the official U.S. Border and Protection website, it says that the priority mission of the U.S. Border Patrol is preventing terrorists and terrorist weapons, including weapons of mass destruction, from entering the United States. While the Border Patrol has changed dramatically since its inception in 1924, its primary mission remains unchanged: to detect and prevent the illegal entry of individuals into the United States. So essentially, it's to stop the bad guys, because the Border Patrol are the good guys. They're the real superheroes. And anyone that's seeking asylum might be terrorists. Wow, they're like Superman and Batman, but in real life. I mean, why else would their Instagram portray them in such a cool light? Oh, it's because they're lying. They're lying. Not blatantly. They just want more recruits, and they're not going to do that by being honest. There isn't even any credible evidence proving that there are terrorists crossing the U.S. border. In fact, the majority of firearms in Mexico right now are from the U.S. Because guess what? We're the largest leading exporter of conventional weapons. But the Border Patrol isn't going to put that on their Instagram. No, instead they're going to put an over-edited picture of a truck in front of some clouds and caption it, "Just missed the storm." But there's no way this works. People aren't that dumb, said the naive viewer once again. Try not to drop the hardest picture challenge. Impossible. Mean looking truck. Chevy all the way. Border Patrol out here dropping the hardest pics. Drop the hardest pic while they was deporting me. What? First of all, ICE deports people, not the Border Patrol. But what, did you see the edit and immediately forgive them for deporting you? Yeah, they was deporting me, and then I went on their Instagram page and I saw the hardest edit of all time. I mean, there was a Chevy Tahoe in front of some clouds, and it looked like they had like missed a storm or something. And it was just so epic and cool. And then I thought to myself, you know what? they might know what they're doing, you know? I also just don't fuck with Border Patrol because I don't think that violence and aggression helps people that are looking for safety. And yes, the majority of immigrants are looking for safety. Spreading the message that any immigrant could be a terrorist just dehumanizes and criminalizes them. Former patrol agent Jen Budd said, "We were taught that they were all criminals and that their children were soon to be criminals. They would say they're all here to live off of welfare or else that they're coming to take our jobs." Which, you know, isn't true. It's been proven that immigrants actually create more jobs. So this brainwashing then leads to more unnecessary aggression and means that patrol agents are more likely to turn away asylum seekers exercising their legal right to seek protection, knowingly returning them to danger. A record of information reported to asylum officers by asylum seekers says, applicant testified that she told the immigration officer that she was afraid to return. They wrote down that she said she was not. The applicant stated that the immigration officers did not tell her what she was signing when they typed in her signature. And that's what the propaganda does. It pretty much teaches you that these people don't deserve basic human rights and therefore are subhuman. But let's go back to where the propaganda starts. The first stop of the propaganda train. Choo choo. There's been a lapse in my judgment. That shit's kind of fire, is what I would say if I had a weak mind. But fortunately for me, my mind is built like a fortress. It's kind of scary how well they've adapted. Like, typically it's pretty easy to spot propaganda, and this isn't that hard to spot, especially for someone like me whose mind is built like a fortress. But the use of trendy songs and decent editing, I don't know, the overemphasis on the orange and teals is concerning me. Here's another one of my favorites. Okay, wow. I guess Border Patrol sponsors Matadors? That's a weird use of money, alongside these edits. I love this comment. Participating in and promoting animal abuse is not a good look, Border Patrol. Who is in charge of your social media content? Because this is not the direction. Like, this is the worst thing that Border Patrol does. Don't get me wrong, this is definitely animal abuse and I don't condone it. But it's so ironic that they're unaware of the other types of abuse that Border Patrol is guilty of. And this is the only thing that they notice. Jesus Christ, that is horrific. What are we doing, guys? When childhood dreams become reality. Who the hell dreams of Border Patrol? What the hell? Still is my dream. I'm working hard to make it happen. Oh my god, almost 2,000 likes. That's a lot of recruits. Do you think people join just because of these edits? Hi, I'm here to apply for Border Patrol. Okay, what made you interested in joining? Your sick edits on Instagram? The one with the car where you change the name of the border to Bugatti? I didn't know we'd be driving Bugattis? Dude, sign me up right now. Bugatti? We don't have Bugattis. I don't know which edit you're referring to, but we drive Chevrolets. But I don't understand. The song in the video goes, I woke up in a new Bugatti, so I thought if I joined, I'd be waking up in a new Bugatti. Why would you false advertise like that? You know how many other people are here because they think they're going to be in a Bugatti? Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, whoever runs this account likes to switch things up and make sure things don't go stale. You have the edits, you have highlights from incidents, and sometimes you get quotes. For some reason. Happiness depends more upon the eternal frame of a person's own mind than on the externals in the world. George Washington. Shit, who needs therapy when you follow the Border Patrol Instagram? I mean, it's true, don't get me wrong, but I didn't expect George Washington to be so introspective about happiness. Didn't he, like, make dentures out of his slaves' teeth? Sounds pretty external to me. Okay, that's Wisdom Wednesdays. They also have Fun Fact Fridays. Like this fun piece of information. SPF stands for Sun Protection Factor. The number measures the fraction of sunburn producing UV rays that would reach the skin. Wow, thank you, Border Patrol. Really helping me prevent skin cancer. Very thoughtful. This person seems to agree. Great message. Fun fact, guys that grew up on a small ranch in Arizona, don't worry about that crap. I love how they're just adding their own fun fact to the fun fact. Great message, but fun fact, guys that live on a small ranch in Arizona don't have to worry about that crap. Yeah, we're immune to the sun. Put that on your Fun Fact Fridays. Here's another informative one. Coastal areas make up less than 10% of total land in the contiguous United States. However, about 127 million people live in these areas. Border Patrol patrols 2,000 plus miles of coastal waters around Florida and Puerto Rico alone. That isn't a fun fact, that's a terrifying fact. You should rename Fun Fact Friday to Scary Fact Sundays. I don't even think Puerto Rico should be under U.S. sovereignty at all, let alone government organizations patrolling their land. But okay, the last thing I want to talk about is something I mentioned earlier, and it's that the Border Patrol likes to post their weekly statistics. And it's really strange because it's in a weird gloating manner. Let me just show you. I don't know, man. This is just such a weird thing to flex. You're doing your job. It makes sense when sports teams do it, but you're not a sports team. People's lives are at stake here. You don't see surgeons doing a weekly report of how many successful and unsuccessful surgeries they've had. This week at Riverside Hospital, we've had 40 successful kidney procedures, 20 successful heart procedures, and 10 unsuccessful procedures. Unsuccessful? What does that mean? Hey, you win some and you lose some, you know? And if you go to their previous post, there's a bigger list where they actually do state the amount of people that got away, as well as the fact that one agent was assaulted, which, like, what, are we trying to victimize ourselves here? And out of almost 52,000 apprehensions, only 22 had criminal charges. That's 0.04%. Wow, thank you. You're really making this country so much safer, Border Patrol. And another statistic post, they have pictures of all the firearms and drugs and money that they apprehended, which I think I'm gonna have to blur. But it's just weird and feels like they're showing off a prize. I don't know, they're putting a weird emphasis on all of these illegal items when the US is responsible for most of them being there in the first place. Anyway, I'm done being mad. I don't know if this propaganda is really working because as much as we have access to these epic edits, we also have the same amount of access to leaked footage of immigrants being treated like shit by these same Border Patrol agents. All I'm saying is that short-form content has provided a new outlet for propaganda, and that will always be scary. But if you disagree with me on anything, make sure to leave it in the comments so I can read it and not reply. But don't worry, someone else probably will. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep and wake up in a new Bugatti. I woke up in a new Bugatti. Patreon time. Thank you Tier 1 patrons, Teddy, Emlyn, Emma, Alexandra, Sharon Forrest. Thank you Tier 2 patrons, Vanessa Carone, Sophia Vanilla, Saf C, Samira Truesdale, Matthew MacLeod, Ken, Casey, John Grob, Elka, Birdie S, Big Guy Mal, Tib Fox, Hagova Kovali, Izzy, Dez, Sid, That One Queer, Julia, Gabby Wabby, and Prakmia. And thank you Tier 3 patrons, Lucy Goosey, Jack, Edgar Rangel, Adeline Grubb, Lou, and Apollo. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day. Bye.